Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk about things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for our weekly energy reading. It is the last week in February in 2024. And we actually have an extra day in February this year. So I figured we would ask our guides for a little guidance for that day specifically. I don't know why that just came through. Wasn't planning on it. But let's call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Please open sacred space. Please only allow the highest and whitest light messages to come through. Bless me. Bless my cards. Bless my viewers. We just got past a wicked, ultra wicked full moon. OMG. This was probably the worst one I've ever experienced. And I probably shouldn't say that because it all depends on like where you are on your journey. But I really feel like it was a tough one for me because like I remember in the past when I wasn't aware of full moons and I was highly sensitive and I was new to the journey and I would feel everything. Now I'm a bit more grounded, but my thoughts last night, I just felt like somebody took over my brain. It's like I couldn't control all of the darkness I was thinking and feeling and all the doom and the fear and just all of my biggest fears were just like so loud. And then all of my nightmares that I had last night, I literally woke up and I was like, I just need to be in the sunshine. I just need light. I just felt like I needed light. So I'm wondering if you guys felt that too. And I actually had a client emailed me and she was like, hey, she's like, she wanted to, oh my gosh, stuttered. She wanted to know where I got one of my books. And she was like, this full moon got me good. I was like, me too, girl. Like, oh my gosh, it was really, really bad. But I remember before a couple years ago where full moons I would like binge eat, I would sleep. I just felt like I could not find myself. I felt all over the place. This time I still like felt like I wanted to eat a ton of food, but it was more so the energy that I felt. I hope that makes sense. Um yeah, so I just was like calling in all kinds of protection. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have black tourmaline, which is a crystal. You can get that for protection. I started to wear black. I have all black on all of my rings. I love this one. So cute, right? And this one too. But I'm wearing all black and gold, represents the light and the good protection. So we're going to open up this week, leaving that full moon, all of that negativity behind, and knowing that you guys really believe in this, okay? The new moons and the full moons really, really affect your thinking, your feeling, your emotions. It's like a tide that's coming, like that a ton of big waves are coming up in your body, and it's bringing up all the shadow, all of the parts of you that have been lying dormant in your body. It starts to come up. And even if you're somebody who's done a lot of healing, you're still going to have more layers, okay? And also the collective energy, you know, I just got a really good message. Thank you. Thank you, Archangel. It's from Archangel Michael because he's the Archangel of protection too. So you can wear blue or you can wear black or have blue or black things around you that, and white and gold obviously also works, but Archangel Michael will bring in that protection, that shield with that blue energy too. But I just got this message that if you guys think about what's really going on our planet, right? We are all being activated, we're all awakening. And when we have energy that's entering the planet, we are literally standing on planet Earth, right? So if there's energy coming into Mother Earth, that then is coming up through our feet and we're feeling it, or it's coming in through our crown. And when light comes in, it's like a fire hose, right? It's like somebody's taking a fire hose and just blasting you with light. And if you think of it like water, it's going to push out anything that's been stuck inside of you. So if you think about how many people are on our planet, I don't even know, like 4 billion or something, maybe 7 billion. I don't know the number. I'm just guessing. Think about 7 billion people facing their shadow. whether they're conscious of it or not. They're feeling anxiety, they're feeling suffering. Most people numb out and they don't want to feel it, so they won't label it as anxiety because they don't feel anything, because they're just overeating or drinking and they're just not paying attention to it. For us light beings, we are opening ourselves up to this journey, so we're going to feel it more than they are. And we might still numb in our own ways to kind of cope, but think about that many people. They're all feeling an energy of discomfort. And now, if you're like me and you're a sensitive being on this planet, you're going to feel that extra cloud around you. It's called the collective. Just think of it as this energy that's always above your head. And it's like, and my throat chakra is confirming this. When you hear the word collective, I want you to think about this hovering energy over top of you and your home. You feel the collective energy. So whatever's happening on the planet, in another country, that is rising up into the collective, and it might be traveling over to where you are and you might feel it. When I was early on my journey and my gifts were really starting to open, I unfortunately in the US, we had a lot of school shootings and it was awful. And I was a teacher at the time. So it wasn't a fear of mine. Like I didn't wake up in the morning and worry about going to school and that happening at my school. I don't know why. I just didn't fear it. I felt safe. I think it's because of my faith, but I would be in school and I would be in the gym and I would be teaching a class. I'm being guided to grab an animal card real fast. I'd be teaching a class and I'd get this overwhelming feeling like I had to cry. And I would tell my coworkers, they knew that I was the psychic medium. They knew that I was super sensitive. And I'd be like, you guys, I got to go outside. Is that okay? Can you watch my class? And I literally would just go out the back door where the track was and I would just breathe in the air and I would like kneel down and I would just cry and I would purge the collective energy. Literally 30 minutes later, my coworkers, we have like a group chat, they would group chat or send it to me privately that there was a school shooting right when I was feeling that energy, right when I was crying. Somewhere in the world, there was suffering happening and I was sensing it. And I didn't know what it was at the time. But then one of my guy coworkers, he was actually great. His name was BJ. He was so awesome. He actually would help me. He'd be like, I would be feeling that way and he would come and help my class or whatever. And he'd be like, all right, he's like, let's pay attention later in the day. If there's anything in the news, let's see if this gift of yours is like consistent. And every single time there was some sort of shooting and it was awful that I could feel it beforehand. And I texted my mentor and I'm like, I don't want this gift anymore. Like I could feel when something bad was happening and I couldn't do anything to stop it. And then I would cry about that. So that still happens to me on a certain level, but now I'm more aware of it and I don't panic and I don't like wonder what's going on with me. I just pray and I say, please send good energy to the families. Please send good energy wherever it's needed. But that collective energy is always over top of us. And the more sensitive that you become, the more you open yourself up to this journey. That's one of the downsides is we can sense when there's things that are not good going on our planet that we're all standing on. So the first message is that you are a sensitive being and you can feel the collective. So when you're feeling like that anxiety or whatever it is, like me, I could have taken that personally and thought, man, something's wrong with me. Why am I crying? Is this my grief? Is this something that's happening to me in my life? Is somebody else going to die? But it wasn't mine. So we have to learn discernment between what is ours and what is the collective that's hovering over us. Okay. And you might feel the collective energy in the middle of the night if there's like a tsunami out in the Philippines or something, you know what I mean? Which I think in the past, that's why I just thought of that, because I think they've already had one. But what if that happened in the middle of the night where you live during the time zone shift and you just were up in the middle of the night with anxiety and then you wake up and hear on the news that there was some sort of natural disaster? Now you can trust your body that everything is not yours and you don't need to panic even more. We can just pray in the moment that everybody is safe and that everybody's okay. Yeah, of course we get, and I just saw the bear at the bottom too, so we're gonna take that. We got the crow, which is everything I just talked about, you guys. We have the octopus, the crow, and the bear, and they're all very similar, very black and colorful. So again, my guides always match my outfits to the cards. So we're getting a lot of black here, which is protection. The crow holds spiritual gifts. this ball of, look at it, same thing with the octopus. They have spiritual gifts in their crown. He's holding it. So this is saying your gifts are opening. They're becoming more expansive, more in tune. You're able to read energy better. I did a group reading party this past weekend, and I sat with 13 different people who've never had readings before. And it was so cool to pull cards from them for them, and they had never experienced it. So a lot of them were like, I'm really nervous. Like, are you going to tell me something bad? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's like a kid in a candy store. You're just going to get so much goodness out of this. And a couple people got this card, and it was me telling them that they had spiritual gifts that they hadn't even opened yet. So now that I'm getting this card for all of you, me talking about my gifts and how I could sense the collective energy, and I could know when there was trauma happening in the world and people were getting hurt, you might be like me. Okay, so start to track the moments where you feel an urge to cry out of nowhere. You could be picking up on your children. You could be picking up on your mom or your dad, or it's a collective energy. Just see what happens later in the day, or check in with those people. And if you find that, oh my gosh, I texted my mom and she was crying at the same time, that could be your spiritual gift, is you can feel other people. And then, so when Spirit's giving me the Crow card, saying that you have spiritual gifts, and then you have the octopus is saying, pull back your tentacles. You might be too connected to the people in your community. Okay, so you have to pull back a bit. You got to not answer your phone. You have to seclude for a day. When you are feeling overwhelmed, think about this card. Think about your tentacles are in all these other people's energy, and you need to pull it back. Okay. And then the bear card is a hibernation card. It's either come out of hibernation or go into hibernation. Take it as it resonates, whatever feels good for you. But I also see this as, right now in this moment, come out of hibernation, get out in the sunshine, ground yourself. Okay. This is a very grounded animal. He's never up in his head or out in like la la land. He's always on the ground, eating hearty foods. So really ground down when you're going through this energy. And just advice, I love that these cards came out. They look so beautiful too. I'm going to leave them like this. I love when things look pretty. And remember I said gold and black, and these all have gold and black in them. A little bit of rainbow too. But the one thing that I did this morning after I had my nightmares and I had the crazy thinking from the full moon, I immediately sat on my deck and I grounded myself. I imagined a swirly Q kind of cord going down from my sacrum all the way down into earth. And then I imagined it hooking into Mother Earth. And then that opened up this golden white light. And the light just came up through the coil, up through the bottom of my vessel, and out through the top of my head, connecting me to Spirit up above. So I was connected to Mother Earth below and Spirit up above. And I was in this alignment. And I just sat there for like 15 to 20 minutes. I had a blanket on because it's freezing outside. But I knew that I had to get out of the four walls that I was in, and I had to be in nature, feel the sunshine, and just ground down. So this is a huge message. When you feel the collective, right? When you feel that there's chaos and it's not always in your own life, it's in your vessel though. So you have to do something to regulate yourself. That is one of the best things you can do, is to ground yourself. Go be barefoot outside if it's warm outside. Lay out in the sun in a bathing suit, or do what I did. And if it's cold, you just get a blanket and you sit outside and just feel like you're connected to Mother Earth and connected to Spirit, and they got you. And you're in this alignment. You're tethered to this like white cord, and that cord is emanating a certain energy all throughout your body, and it's like a fire hose. It's pushing any negativity out of both arms. Okay, that's a really important message for somebody out there. Oh, my throat's already dry. How cute is this straw, you guys? I bet some sort of card will come through that's purple today, but this is from my niece, Molly. She gave this to me on Valentine's Day. And I know it's plastic and I should not be drinking out of it, but we're doing it for her. Okay. Oh, one of my old psychic medium friends just messaged me. Love you. Okay, we're going to do tarot now, and we're going to see what message we need to hear regarding these spiritual gifts. The Hermit, time spent in peaceful meditation and meaningful solitude. Shine your light as an example to others. Seek out or become a spiritual mentor, self-discovery. That's this energy. You're shining your light. You're coming out of hibernation. You're seeking more guidance so that you can open your spiritual gifts. One of my favorite things to do in my mentorship is helping people understand what I had to understand. You know, I was in that school building crying for no reason and I didn't know why. And then I would find out later something would happen in the news and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this really a gift of mine? But how can I know what it is before I find out on the news? That's what I wanted to get good at. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. So it's a dance, and you have to kind of figure out your gifts and how they work for you and with you. And that's what I love to teach my clients is I teach them about dreams. I teach them about their body, about what they're hearing. If you're hearing a lot of knocking, if you're seeing certain things, I teach people how to, if you're getting a message in a dream, should you reach out to that person that you just dreamt of, or should you wait? Because is it your guide saying that they're going to reach out to you? Here's an example about how you can really save somebody's life or offer support when they're really struggling. My mom had breast cancer last year and she had surgery, got it removed. She's healthy now. She's great. But before she was diagnosed, I had a dream and it was like this blank void. And I just heard my mom's sweet voice say, Michelle, Michelle. And I woke up and I was like, whoa. I was like, what was that? Like, did my mom die? I was so scared that my mom had already passed away and she was like speaking to me from heaven in my dreams. So I woke up and I texted my mentor because that's what mentors are for. And I was just like, hey, I just had this dream. Have you ever had this experience before? And it really is important to have a mentor when you have spiritual gifts because they have been through it already, right? My mentor is almost, I think she's mid 50s. So she's older than me, but I said, and she goes, wow, she goes, I think her soul is turning on. She goes, I don't think she passed away. She's like, but I want you to text her, make sure she's safe. But she's like, I think she's turned on. And that's what it was. It's her speaking to you from her higher self. And in my dream, it seemed like she was higher, right? She was out in the ethers speaking to me. Well, I texted my mom and she was like, yeah, I'm good, you know. She's like, come over, I have this card for you. So I go over there and it was just an old birthday card that I just hadn't picked up. And as I'm there, my mom's telling me about her doctor's appointments and she hasn't told anybody yet. So she confided in me because I reached out. So her coming to me in the dream was a cry for help because she was about to just be diagnosed with cancer and I was getting the download that she was calling out to me. And my mentor, what she taught me was that that was really her soul turning on because that illness sparked my mom open. My mom sees angel numbers now. Like she's starting to like listen to my advice when I tell her about like your dream space, and if you're having nightmares, you got to clear your nightstand. She had like a murder book on her nightstand. And I was like, Mom, no. I was like, that will jump into your subconscious. I'm like, get that off your nightstand. Nothing under the bed. Anything around you guys when you sleep can jump into that subconscious. Okay. Everything is energy. If you think about everything as like flowy energy, if it's a book about murder, guess what? That's this. That's going to flow into your field. It's not a compact, hard, solid piece of writing, right? Everything is energy, just really, really dense and together. But in reality, it's flowy. Okay. So this card is flowy. Whatever's on this card can fly into my field right now. When you really understand energy, and I just got guided to tell somebody on, I think it's on YouTube, you can watch the Celestine Prophecy. And that shows how energy is, how you can see it, even though some people can see it because they have that spiritual gift. Yikes, they have the spiritual gift that they can see it, but other people don't. So that movie helps you see it. It helps you understand what I'm really talking about. So we have to clear our nightstands. We have to clear what's underneath our bed. If it's anything we don't want in our energy field at night while we're sleeping, then we have to remove it. So anyway, my mom awakened during that time, but that dream was a message. I was being guided to reach out to her because her guides were letting me know that she was about to get a diagnosis and she was going to need support. So I just happened to go over her house and she just happened to tell me that she was having all these doctor's appointments and she hadn't told anybody. And I'm like, Mom, you can't go through this alone. Like, what are you talking about? So when we hermit, we are learning and listening to the guidance that we're getting, whether it's through nighttime, through a dream, like this is a nighttime card, or whether it's through just a quick thought and out of nowhere you're thinking of somebody and then they text you. That is part of your spiritual gifts, okay? And you have to learn how to use them for good. You know, we don't want to just be blown by the wind with them. We want to actually activate them and use them. This one's kind of turned, so we're going to take it. The High Priestess, yes, a spiritual teacher. Meditate and turn inward. Another meditation card. Turn inward to discover your soul's true desire. This is not the time for action. Develop your intuitive gifts and trust the wisdom you receive. Well, our guides are really, really nailing this in right now. We have two cards that say meditation, shine your light, spiritual mentor, develop your intuitive gifts, shine your light, come out of your cave, self-discovery, and this is non-action. You're pulling your tentacles back. You don't have to take action right now. What you do have to do is you have to learn about yourself. You have to learn about your spiritual gifts and learn how to use them for good. Really, really, really clear messages right now. Okay. We're going to do Spirit Song Tarot. I haven't used this deck in a while, but it is really cute. It's like an animal tarot deck. So I have the book, and when I grabbed this deck to bring it onto my table, my guide said, you're going to be reading a lot in this reading. So meaning like I'm going to be reading the pages. I'm going to tuck my hair back because it's just a little bit in the way. Okay, much better. All right, Spirit Song Tarot, what do we need to hear? What do we need to hear from these sweet animals? What other animals? Okay, we have the deer. We have the Queen of Acorns. Queen of Pentacles, I believe. Or is that... No, that's Wands, I think. Okay, passion and creativity. So let's read that. Queen of Acorns, where are you at, babe? I just saw the owl. So owls are a sign for somebody. Side note, when I meditated this morning outside, I could still hear the owl, an owl. It was so nice. I smiled all big. I was like, yay. Okay, here we go. Queen of Acorns, deer, passion and creativity. Vivacious and loving, deer awakens the spark of life's fervor in those who are around her. In touch with the freshness of life, she's ruled by her heart's passion. She's wired by boundless energy, and her sensitive yet fiery nature will keep her standing up for what she believes in. A visionary. Deer wishes to help you awaken your strongest essence, awaken, of self-discovery. Where else do we see that? Self-discovery. Look at the bottom. It says self-discovery. So we got two cards for self-discovery. By tapping into your creative energies, you will manifest your dreams. Be ever alert to divine insight. Give yourself permission to radiate with self-confidence. May your spirit leap higher than it has ever before. Oh, I love that. Keywords: warmth, wisdom, passion, determination, honesty, innovation, leadership, intuition, creativity. Okay. So Queen of Acorns is saying you are being guided to go into more self-discovery, to really figure out who you are and listen for those deep insights and how you can add value to our world. I love that it says her standing up for what she believes in, a visionary. So it's like you can't take a back seat in your life anymore. We need you guys to step up with your spiritual gifts So if you're feeling the call to buy some tarot decks, to buy some animal cards, oracle cards, if you want to buy my deck, all of my decks are linked below. My Micah Magic, my Messages from Money, my Ever Unfolding Heart. All three of these decks are on my website, and they're also linked below. But there's no rules with cards. It's a tool for you to say, hey, Spirit, can you talk to me today? Can you tell me what I need to hear? All you do, you pull a card, read the book, and then you receive the message that it's telling you. So you guys see me do it, and you might think there's like a certain like thing that you need to have to be like me, but you guys all have it. You have the ability to do this. And most people that I mentor, most likely they end up becoming readers on YouTube. So be open to that. You might be being guided to do that. 7 of Acorns, determination and stamina. This is what the card looks like. And my throat chakra is moving like crazy. It's moving energy. 7, Ace of Acorns, 5, 6. Here we go, 7. Whew, I feel my heart is racing. Okay, it's a badger. It says, fearless badger fights for his values and never settles for less than he deserves. His manner of leadership drives him to stand up to opposition without backing down. Badger will help you seize the energy of determination to meet any challenges you're facing. In turn, your leadership abilities, again with leadership, will begin to break through. Be prepared to defend your principles with faith and courage. Even if it feels that the odds are against you, take a stand. By facing your fears, you grow stronger. Let nothing deter you. Certitude within yourself will steadily lead you forward to a bright future. Keywords: determination, stamina, challenge, inner strength, holding your own principles. So 7 of Acorns, the badger. So the message that I just got for this is there's so many people who have spiritual gifts, but your soul has designed it so that you have to overcome a challenge before you can share your gifts. So that could be somebody in your family who doesn't approve of cards. It could be somebody that thinks it's like witchery or something. It could be maybe you were in a profession before and you're not allowed to be on social media in that profession. There's a barrier. So I'm hearing there's a self-created barrier that your soul designed for you to overcome in order for you to share your gifts. So the fear of sharing who you are is designed for you. It's meant to be there. And when we know this about ourselves and we're like, oh, wow, I generated this to then overcome it, it's kind of beautiful because it was chosen by you. So it's not like out of your control in a way. You can kind of embrace it and be like, okay, I picked this. Me as a teacher, I had a huge fear of being on YouTube because I'm like, are all of my students going to think I'm some woo-woo crazy witch? They used to see me as such a loving teacher, and now they see me doing this and it's scary to them. Like me doing that reading for those 13 people on Friday night. Like they all kind of were looking at me, and the look of me was very inviting and calm and peaceful, and they felt safe with me. But what I was about to share with them was the unknown, and their egos and their mind only replays the past conditioning around cards and tarot, and people see it as a dark energy. And you guys know here it's not. It's filled with magic and love and guidance and our truest calling. So for me, especially with children, and the kids nowadays are very open to tarot, which is cool. But back when I was teaching, that was not being talked about. There was no tarot on TikTok. There was nothing on Instagram. And I was posting on my Instagram after I left my teaching job, and I was really scared. I was terrified. It was a challenge that I had to face. I had to put myself out there, and because it was my calling, this is what I meant to do. So a lot of people see me and they see that I'm confident in doing this, but they don't know the road that I've traveled to get here. I was terrified, literally terrified, especially with what my parents would think, and my siblings and my nieces and my nephews. But I think my approach to it made it more fun. You know, I feel like certain people are designed to be readers because they have a personality and an energy that will turn non-believers onto it because of who you are. So I'm hearing, because of who you are, people will trust you and they'll want to come get a reading because it's you. And they're like, okay, well, I like her or I like him, so I'm going to do this unknown thing that I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust them, so I'm going to do it. That's the energy. And that's why you need to overcome that challenge, is because you could help a whole community of people awaken to their truth because they trust you. And it's because of your past job. You met all these people and you were meant to be there so that they could earn, or they could really rely on you and see you. And now that you're opening up spiritually, now they're going to follow you. So that's the leadership. Spirit just said, yes, Michelle, that's exactly the message they're trying to get through. You have spiritual gifts. People trust you and know you from your past version of who you are. Now you're awakened. Now you're meditating. You're learning how to use your gifts because you're meant to be a leader. Passion, creativity, determination, and stamina. And it takes strength to be a leader. Okay, we're going to hold off on Spirit Song. I feel good about that. Let's do some charms. We haven't done my charms in forever. I have lots of crystals. A little ASMR. Okay. Ooh, we have an elephant, a guitar, a crown, and the death card. Not card, but charm. So little elephant. So the elephant is kind of like the determination and the stamina. The elephant creates its own obstacles to overcome. So your soul has planned out this perfect scenario for you to overcome the challenge, whether it's divorce, whether it's loss, whether it's becoming an intuitive reader in a Catholic family or a Baptist family, or whatever strong religious beliefs your family has. You're meant to break the mold and to break out of it. And if you do it, then they'll believe you. We have the death charm, which is a rebirth. So it's also could be, I just heard this could mean like, you know, the poison symbol, like figuring out what you're eating. Yeah, this isn't the death card. This isn't symbolic of that. This is symbolic of what are you putting in your body? In order for you to be somebody who is using their spiritual gifts, you have to have a clean vessel. You can't be putting toxic food and tons of sugar into your vessel, because that will make everything unclear. And you really won't know if your emotions are from the sugar and the glucose high, or if it's because a lot of people have emotions because of when your glucose rises. Okay. And I was just watching a video the other day about how your I forget the word for it. Was it not glycogen, glycation? I think it's called glycation. But it's basically when we're born, the cartilage in our bodies is white. And then they take the cartilage of a person who's ready to pass away and it's like brown. So this woman was like, we cook. She's like, we are cooking our whole life. From when we were born, we're starting to cook. And when we leave, that means we are done. We've cooked. We're done this journey. Our body has been cooked. So what causes your body to burn faster, meaning cook faster, is when your glycogen raises and you have too much glucose. So glucose spikes, which means lots of sugar, lots of processed foods. Every time you're spiking that, you're burning. Okay, you're cooking. She called it cooking, which I thought was cool, even though it doesn't sound good to cook a human. But she talked about how our cartilage is pure white when we're born, and then when we die, it's like brown. And it's like a process of that browning phase. And what browns it faster is when we eat a lot of sugar and processed foods. So I feel like I was guided to watch that video to learn about that, to teach it here. So this is kind of poison energy. What poisons are you putting in your body that are making you cook faster? We don't want you to cook. We want you to be here and be light and be pure and white and have that inner goodness for as long as we can, which means you're just being healthy, right? We have that white light energy inside of us. And then we have the guitar. The guitar and the queen or king crown. So now I'm getting a relationship message is that your person is speaking to you through music. They're sending you signs through music, and this is like know your worth. You know, you're a king or queen, do not settle. And also a second piece of information is just pay attention to music, or this means that you might play the guitar, or somebody you love is really into music. Maybe spirit is only talking to you through music. And it could be that one of your spiritual gifts is that you are clairaudient, is that you can hear things. You can hear knocking. You can hear music when there isn't music playing. Okay. That's a really cool spiritual gift to have, because spirit will give you songs, even though the song's not on the radio, you're just hearing it in your head. That counts as a message from spirit. Okay. There's a lot of readers who have great voices and they sing in their readings and they bring forth music for you to go look up the lyrics. So that's definitely the message for that one, because I'm getting confirmation through my throat chakra. So good. Oh, my door just knocked. BRB. Oh, something just fell. Oh, it's just wax. I was just going to say, I'm back. Sorry. It was just a neighbor. Just a neighbor saying hi because she's so sweet. Okay, let's do some Light Seers Tarot. Spirit, what else do we need to hear? Ace of Swords. This is deep, deep, deep. Clearly, look how deep the staircase goes. Clarity about your life. You're searching for clarity. It's another meditation card. So we have the High Priestess, we have the Hermit, and we have the Ace of Swords. This is getting answers. So this is going to be a week. Spiritual gifts are opening up. You might be guided to seek out a mentor or somebody to help you work on your spiritual gifts. You're getting clarity. You might be meditating more. You have to overcome your fear of people not accepting you for your gifts. You might be getting messages through music. You're going to eat healthier food, and you're going to know your worth, and you're not going to settle. I filmed an amazing little bundle of videos today about how 3 signs that you know you're not supposed to be with somebody, or 3 signs that you know that the universe wants you with somebody. I'd never done those videos before, and I got guidance to do that today, and they're so good. So stay tuned for those. Okay, 2 of Pentacles. This is somebody, look, she's matching my outfit. We both have black tops on. Again, with protection. So balancing, trying to figure out the best option. You have 2 choices to make. You're like, I don't know which one to do. Okay. Do I quit my job? Do I stay? Do I quit my job? Do I stay? That's what I just heard. Let's get another message on that. Let's get Micah Magic. I feel like my Micah Magic deck is always like a qualifier or a clarifier. I don't know if qualify is the right word. A clarifier. Okay. 1 flipped in here. Meditate. Man, we are all being guided to meditate this week. We have to honor this call, you guys. Go within. Your angels are asking you to use them. If you need help with a decision, ask your angels. And for some reason, my hand was holding this one at the bottom of the deck. Share the love. Express how you feel to somebody. Maybe this decision is deciding whether to go towards somebody, whether to get divorced, whether to break up. Who is on your mind? Yep. Okay. Now this is relationship based. And I think it started off with the guitar. So if you were feeling that somebody's speaking to you through music, when you hear a song and you just think of somebody else, you know that they're speaking to you. This is confirmation that they are sent there. I like to believe it's their higher self sending you the song. And I just want to have this like quick little conversation real fast. This is for somebody out there that for 6 years, I've been doing twin flame readings, and I don't advertise about it because I don't want to attract a huge tribe of people who are obsessed with getting somebody back, or just clinging to a story that they think is true. And a lot of times it's not a story, and they really are their twin flame, and they're meant to be together, and they just both have a lot of healing to do. And it can take 5 years. It could take 3 years. You don't know. Everybody has different traumas. But I've been doing twin flame readings for 6 years. I've experienced multiple catalysts who I thought were my twin flame. So that's an option too. So I'm saying this because whoever is on your mind, you might be thinking they're your twin flame or they're your soulmate, but they might not be. They might be a catalyst. They might be somebody, because if you think about it, let's just put it this way, and we'll use me as an example. Who the Michelle I am today, right, is not the Michelle I was 6 years ago. I'm a different human. My soul is more my soul, right? My soul before was more my human. Now I'm trying really my best to live in soul. Well, if I would have met somebody back then and thought that they were my twin and they're not on a healing journey, would they match who I am now? They wouldn't, right? So how could that be my person? It's just somebody who was showing me where I was at that moment. So I magnetized them to me in a partnership for them to show me more of who I was. And then I leveled up and healed, and they maybe just stayed the same. I don't know. But we were guided to part ways. And I don't think about them anymore. Sometimes, I'll get messages from them and I'm like, sorry, we're not a match anymore. Like, we're totally in different phases of our life. They still tell themselves a story that I might be their person. And I'm like, you're like, I'm a completely different person now. I'm not a match to that, but they still sound the same. They're still doing the same things. So I can see that they haven't grown much, and that's fine. Maybe that's not their path, but I'm on this accelerated path to help people, but I'm not a match to that. But they still are telling themselves a story because they're only remembering how they used to feel with me back then. And I'm no longer thinking about it because I'm this completely different person over here, and I've purged that layer of who I was. So that version of Michelle that they know or knew, she's like gone. It's like the death card, the rebirth. That version of me is dead. She's not non-existent. And then they reach out thinking she's still alive. And I'm like, I'm not her anymore. I'm somebody brand new. So that might be happening to somebody out there. You might be either clinging to somebody in your past who you think is a match to you, but that was a match to the old you. You're different now. And we always want to keep going this way. We always want to be elevating. And who knows, that person that you connected with, maybe they are growing. You don't know. But it's not your job to sit around and wait. It's not your job to accept poor treatment from them in any way. So please don't cling to the idea of somebody, okay? Because we only want the truth of who we are, and we only want to share life with somebody who's going to support us and love us and high five us, and they're not just going to want to pull us back to the old version of who we were. Okay, so if you're somebody that's leveled up and they can't see that, you can't be in partnership with that. You need somebody that can see you. That's a big piece of it. So that's what I learned on the twin flame journey, is that we're going to meet a bunch of people on the way to our end destination, and they're catalysts. They're helping you get clear on what you're not and what you are. And as you keep, like, you might meet 3 different men or women that are your catalysts. Wow, you meet this person, and the universe makes it. This is what I've learned. is that the universe makes it synchronistic. It makes you see their name everywhere. It makes all these signs happen because at that moment, it wants you there learning that lesson. And then when you get plucked out of that situation and you're still thinking you're meant to be there, the universe is saying, just no, babe, just wait. We're going to bring you somebody better, somebody who's more of a match to who you are here. And then you meet your next person and you're like, oh my gosh, this one's it because, we have more in common or they look like me. And you find all of these similarities, but then again, you're like, wait, I don't know. Am I going to change again and become somebody new and meet somebody new? Most likely you will. So we don't want to say like it's all or nothing and this person's it and I just know it is. You don't know. God might have someone who is 10 times better for you and you just can't see it yet. So please don't be like all of these other videos and all of these twin flame stories where people get hung up on one person being the only one for them. Absolutely not. We are brought catalysts, we are brought soulmates, people that help us grow along the way. And if we're getting signs about that person, that's because there's still something that needs to be learned. Okay. And yes, it's going to feel like a strong pull, it's going to feel magnetic because that's where your soul wants you to learn. You're going to be drawn to what you're meant to learn. Okay. So don't be stuck in the obsessive thoughts and the thinking about one person because they might not even be thinking these thoughts because they've moved on and you're trapping yourself in this awful existence and you're closing the door on what God's really trying to bring you. And you're stunting your growth too because you're only focused backwards. You're not focused here in the present moment on who you are. So I love to guide people off of that obsession, off of wondering who it is, and just focus on you, focus on your own growth. And the right person will come up and they'll show up in your reality and they'll want to take you out and do cool things with you and share life with you. And it's going to be a beautiful shared best friend / lover experience. Okay. My heart's racing again. I got really like powerful about that. Somebody needed to hear that. There's too much false information out there about special persons, special people. All right, oh my gosh, I almost just said Light Seers Tarot. This is the Rider-Waite Tarot. You are the sunshine in somebody's life, or you are this bright sunshine in your community sharing your gifts. Okay, so we want to be the light. Brings me back to the Bear card. You were meant to come out of your cave and to share your light. Come out of hibernation. Be who you are. Don't shy away. And the Sun card is Leo energy, which I'm a Leo. So high five to all my Leos out there. My birthday is August 19th. And we are just born to shine. We're born to uplift. We're born to be the example, right? And the wounded Leo needs to have attention. They need to be validated. They need to be seen all the time. But the healed Leo takes their mission ultra seriously. They are like, I am not letting anybody disturb my peace. If you're coming in to cloud my sunshine, you can keep on moving because I am not going to settle for that. And that's kind of like those catalysts, right? Those people who are thinking, they're trying to dim your light, they're trying to control you, they're trying to tell you you're meant to be mine, or there's just these lost souls out there that want to control your light. And they exist. Trust me, the darkness exists, and we have to shine brighter than that. And that darkness could be, the people that don't believe in spirituality and they're telling you that doing cards is the devil and all these different things. This could be symbolic of your mission. We're not going to let anyone dim your light when it's time to show up and do your mission. And these relationships, these so-called twin flame relationships, distract you from doing your mission because you're so focused on somebody else that you're not here. You're not realizing that your soul literally jumped into that body to do this, to be like, I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to share my stuff with the world, my gifts with the world, my light. And It represents growth. You can see the sunflowers. You never stop growing. You are just this magical person that is just like, I'm choosing myself over and over and over again. And if there is a situationship or a relationship that is distracting me from doing this, then I have to leave that behind because it's not a match. I believe the universe sends these distractions through really good looking people who are not on a growth journey. They're there, they're thrown in your path to pull you off your path. And I educate people all the time in my reality, in public, in my community. I'm like, they're a distraction. Don't let them distract you because they're literally just this shiny toy that's there for you to play with. Don't bite. Don't go with that because they're keeping you from doing this. They're keeping you on this mind loop of wondering where they are. What are they doing? Are they dating somebody else? And these relationships can be really distracting from what you're here to do. And the soul journey is not about let's find our soulmates and just live together forever. Your soul journey is this. It's what do I have inside of me that I can share with the world? That is what you came here to do. You did not come here just to get married. I'm sorry. You might know your ego or other egos might not like to hear that. My ego hated when people told me that a couple of years ago because I was like, no, I am meant to experience this like fairy tale love. But that fairy tale love is loving yourself and your mission so much so that you wake up and you commit to it every single day. And then a partnership is an added bonus because you're just like, wow, I finally found somebody who's a match to me because they love their mission just as much as I love my mission. So a true partnership is two people. I always use this analogy, and they're in two different cars. You know, my car is a cute Jeep Wrangler and I got the top off and I'm singing and dancing. I'm being the sun card and I am sharing my spiritual gifts with the world in my lane. And my partner, he's in his car doing whatever he loves, sharing himself, maybe creating things, fixing things, doing things for people, helping people see more of who they are, spreading his light in his lane. I am not going to jump into his car and stop doing what I'm doing because I just want to get married. No, we stay in our own lanes and then we just look at each other, we support each other, we sing with each other, we dance, we play, we work out. We do all of those things together because we're supporting each other and fueling the fire together. So if you imagine one flame here, it's kind of like my candles. One flame is divine feminine, the other flame is divine masculine. When you put those two flames together, can you imagine the light that the world could feel from your combined energy? That's what you should be craving, is somebody to share your mission with. As I said, share, I was grabbing this card unconsciously. Okay. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I hope that's not in all of my decks. Is there two cards? Holy cow. No, I must have combined my decks going to like a reading party or something. But what are the odds of us getting both? So I think this is also saying that somebody's going to be speaking their truth. Somebody's going to be saying, I love you. Let's do our mission together, because they're going to be sharing the love. It's two. Wow, this is twin energy. I just got it. So the twin flames, right? We have two flames, two of the same card. My guides just made this happen for a reason. So these two flames are going to come together this week. They're going to be speaking their truth and being so excited to finally be with each other, to say, hey, I support your mission. You support my mission. Let's just travel alongside of each other and see what we can create together. See what kind of flame and sun and energy we can generate. Wow, really beautiful. And I just saw it will come at the end of the month, which is this week. So another confirmation. And then we have let go of control, hold the line. Okay, let's get, and we have forgive them. All right, I'm going to stop after that one. Sorry. The next one was changes here too. So changes here, forgive them, let go of control. I feel guided to, now that it is a partnership type of reading, let's see what your special person, if we were to really have somebody who's going to share our mission with us, what would they want to tell us? Let's see what they would want to tell us. This is a hidden truth oracle. So we've got 2. Okay, I left when I saw you with someone. So maybe it was too painful for them to see you married or to see you dating somebody else. Maybe they realize, oh my gosh, I feel this deeply about this person. I don't want to feel this way, so I'm just going to leave. And then we have, I will wait for a sign from you. So let's see what happens here. Let's get 2 more. And I believe the sign will be the music. They will hear a song. I remember every detail of that day. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. So they are reminiscing on your time together. And they're saying that I love you so much that the pain of seeing you with somebody else was too much. And that's why it was so painful to let you go. But they're going to wait for a sign from you. And I like to believe, like I said, some people are catalysts. Some people are designed to feel that kind of pain, to spark something open in you or in them. Like maybe you were designed to spark healing in them, to make them see that they can feel this deeply for somebody, because maybe they're about to meet somebody that they're going to be with and they want to feel that deep. Or maybe you're meant to be with them and you had to spark their healing so that they could fully feel whole within themselves, and that your love isn't going to rock them or break them or scare them. So they have to do that healing on their own, gathering their spiritual gifts, learning about themselves, learning about spirituality. And they're, in the meantime, they're remembering every detail of your connection. They're never going to forget your light. And you can forgive them because they did leave, because it was painful. It is scary. It's scary to put your heart out there. It's scary to feel like, man, I remember getting hurt in high school or in college. I don't ever want to feel that again. And here I'm 30 some, 40 some years old, meeting somebody and they're reminding me of that feeling. Nobody wants to touch that with a 10-foot pole. So we keep our distance, we hibernate, we seclude. They just gave me a great analogy. So they said sometimes when these connections happen, when they separate and they go and do their healing, that one person goes and say they are in a marriage or they're dating other people. People often wonder, like, are they really happy in that marriage? Or are they really happy with that other person? And I just got this message that it's kind of like coffee, right? Like, think about the most delicious cup of coffee that you've ever had. Okay. And that's you. That's you and this person together. They're experiencing the best cup of coffee. And it can be whatever thing that you like. It doesn't have to be coffee, but we're just going to use coffee as an example. And then when they're in these marriages or in these relationships that are the catalysts, right? It's not you. It's not their divine counterpart. It's kind of like drinking gas station coffee. It holds the cravings over for a bit. Like, you need that hit of caffeine. So you're getting the caffeine, but it doesn't taste good. You're just doing it for the hit. That's what these people are doing, is they're soothing their craving for you by going and dating other people who are kind of like, and not like, they're just not you. You're like this goddess or this king, and they're going with this other person because they need to feel or to satisfy the craving of needing you. So they take like the gas station coffee temporarily, and they make every excuse of why they can't be with you, because you're too good to be true. You're going to break their heart, or you remind them of the past, or they're not good enough, and I'll never be able to make you happy. And they're just all these sorry excuses that their ego is telling them that they're not good enough. And they have to overcome that voice in their head and say, I am good enough, and I'm going to get my shit together, and I'm going to come towards you. And I want the best cup of coffee there is on this planet. Like, they finally commit to saying, like, I'm done with this gas station coffee. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. It's the same routine over and over and over again. There's no growth. There's no light. It's just there all the time. And then they go to the best cup of coffee ever, and that gets better with every sip. Every day is a new flavor, right? So always remember that about yourself. You are that beautiful, yummy cup of coffee that somebody won't be able to resist. They're going to want more and more and more, and it's never going to get boring because you are always evolving and growing, and you want a partner that values that. You don't want a partner that's going to see you as the gas station cup of coffee that's just always there and it's just You want someone who sees your light, who really appreciates every taste of you. It's a really good message. I love that. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's do a final animal card. And I just heard, are you going to settle for gas station coffee? What a weird analogy. The otter. Okay, so when somebody's choosing to not settle, they have to go through an initiation. They have to go through this rebirth, they go through this tunnel and they realize, man, I've been settling for this blah, like not so great experience. In order to receive this, it's kind of like my divine feminine post. Did you guys see that post I created on my community page? It was from a woman's website. Her last name's Bassford. She's awesome. She's an incredible writer. So I took her poem it was called her Awakened Woman poem and or excerpt, but I copy and pasted it and put it on my community page because I was like, more people need to read this. They need to understand what it takes to love and to be with somebody who's awakened, not just a woman, anybody, right? You have to go through this initiation. You have to be ready to see yourself and to have them see you. And this says, be open through this transitional time. And I know that I've met certain people where I didn't feel good enough. And I'm like, oh, I don't like that they can see me and I don't feel like I'm good enough. And it's the worst feeling on the planet to not feel good enough. But then you go through this phase of healing where you're like, okay, I am good enough. I can do this. And that's when you're the otter and you're like, all right, take me. I want to be better. I want to go with this person. They're going to hold me to a high standard. They're going to love me. They're not going to let me fall. And it becomes this beautiful partnership where you support each other's growth. And somebody actually wants to go get the best cup of coffee ever with you. And they literally are so grateful that you like changed their life. You saved them from the gas station coffee that they were picking and choosing over and over and over again in all different ways, in all different cities. And it was leaving them lifeless. It was leaving them still missing something. And what they were missing was their internal growth, their soul growth. And that's what divine feminines do. We activate our masculines to level up. And that's exactly what this card is. It's an initiation into the next level of who you came here to be. Perfect ending to this reading. The otter is also the most playful card in the deck. And if you guys can see at his feet, it looks like it's a heart, right? Do you see that? The little brown spot. So don't forget to have fun. And this divine counterpart that you might be connecting with, they're going to make you feel like a kid again. You're going to feel like you can be yourself with them. And I'm posting a video later this week, maybe next week. I'm not sure when it's going to air, but it's all about 3 signs that you know that you should be with somebody. And one of the signs is all about being a kid and being like, I can be myself with this person. They make me say things that I've never said before. How is this possible? That's what divine feminines do. We activate you. And divine masculines can do that too. So it's not just one or the other. It's just 2 people that are really meant to be together. You make each other better. Okay. All right, lovies, I'm sending you so much love. Let's get on with the day and have a wonderful day. Spread your good energy. Be the sunshine. Come out of your cave. Put good food in your body. My throat chakra is going nuts. I'm going to go to the gym and get my groove on. I'm sending you so much love. Have a fabulous week. And there's something else I was going to say and I can't remember. Okay, no worries. I was going to say if you need a reading, I'd be happy to do readings. Lately, I've been doing a lot of recorded readings. So if you don't have the time to schedule a live session with me, I record a 30-minute reading, pulling cards just for you and your situation. I drop it in your email box, and then you have it and you can watch it at your leisure. You can keep it forever. So those are $111, and they've been super, super popular lately. And I kind of like doing it because I feel like I can tap into your energy better when you're not on the screen with me, and I can really feel into your situation. I did 2 readings for one woman this past week. You know who you are, girl. And it was wild, the amount of synchronicities that were in both readings. And it was just so magical. And we both were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So if you want some magic in your life, feel free to book one of those recorded readings with me, and I'll drop it in your inbox this week. All right, lovies, I will see you in our midweek reading. Have a wonderful day, and I'm sending you so much love. All right, peace out.